Hey guys, Harrison One back at it once again with a brand new video for you, and welcome to episode 4 of our MotoGP 14 career mode Let's Play. Welcome back to my garage, well, sort of, whatever it is, as we head towards round 5 of the championship in Moto 3. In case you guys missed it, last time around we did 2 more races in Argentina, and what was the other one? Was it Jerez? I've forgotten already. See, my memory is that terrible. The fact that there's also midnight here doesn't help. It was Jerez, yeah, I was right first time. Go me. Right. Round 5, Le Mans. One of my favourite tracks on the calendar, actually. The thing is, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bugatti circuit overall, but it just seems to work as a bike track. It really does. And given how bad the weather is in France, a lot of the time it throws up some funny ones. It throws up some interesting races, which I'll talk more about in a minute, because we all know that Assen is coming up very... Assen happened this afternoon. I'll talk more about that in a bit, as my Skype goes off. Oh god, hang on. Yeah, whatever. Right, okay, still Gresini Honda team. Hopefully we're going to get an upgrade on that soon. It's the plan, at least. We'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, let's do Le Mans. And let's talk about Assen. Well, wow, what a ridiculous Grand Prix weekend. I was talking about how Le Mans tends to throw up some interesting ones. Well, Assen did again. Assen is never ever boring. And this weekend, it was a story of changeable conditions and the weather involved. And man, did it wreak havoc from qualifying onwards. I mean, I've never seen a qualifying session like it where it's dry in Q1 in the top class. It's dry in Q1 in the top class. And then in Q2, it just starts to rain. So all 12 bikes are going out there at the same time. Almost like it was a race. And then Marquez pulled off this ridiculous double pass to get around and set a really fast qualifying lap before the rain really came down.
Welcome to Le Mans.
And then pretty much, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that Espargaro, who was further back, and in some clear air, managed to get a clean lap in and ended up qualifying on pole. So Alicia Espargaro ended up having the first ever open class bike on pole position, which is something unearthly, I would say. Engine level 1. So also we finally got an engine upgrade for this thing as well, which is excellent because it's trust me, it's really necessary. Yeah, we'll do the brakes next. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it threw up a really topsy-turvy grid. Espargaro on pole, we had Crutchlow 5th, somehow after being in 17th in free practice. Cal got lucky, found some good space and was able to maximise how good that Ducati is in those changeable conditions. And Yamaha were the ones that really missed out, again. With Lorenzo qualifying 9th and then Rossi in 12th, right at the back of that Q2 pack. Not that it really mattered for him during the Grand Prix. Ooh. Bit naughty there, but we're okay. Yeah, but you know, the race itself was nuts. It was raining on and off all through Sunday morning. Moto 3 had a little bit of it. Moto 2 was all over the place. I mean, look at Moto 2. I mean, Anthony West. Wow, what a result! From 23rd on the grid, his first win since yeah, it was actually at Assen itself, but it was back in 2003. Hang on, I'm getting called on Skype. Sorry about that. Thrown off a little bit there because I said my Skype was went off in the middle of that. But yeah, I mean, but the thing, something like that, the race was crazy. I said it was raining on and off all the way through. And Anthony West won the Moto 2 race just from a raging Maverick Vinales. It was coming through the field super fast at the end as the track was drying out. But Anthony West just managed to hold on for that elusive win. You know, but yeah, the big winner was Vinales for the championship. I mean, I think Rabat was down in 8th. Mugello was 3rd. So Mugello, you know, ended up working out quite nice in his favour as well. But I think Rabat still got a 26-point lead in that championship. Moto3, the big thriller, was obviously whoops, getting shoved there from behind. Even the engine upgrade still isn't helping. Even Moto3, the big story was Jack Miller dropping off with about 3 laps to go. And Romano Fenati failed to score points, which just goes to show you just how topsy-turvy the field is right now in Moto3. Like I said, any given weekend, there's 8 or 9 guys that could get on the podium. Bastianini had a big drop as well, so all the top tier having some struggles besides Alex Marquez, who wins his 2nd consecutive race and is now right in the championship hunt now. He's only 7 points off the lead from Jack Miller. Miller still leads the championship by 7 points. But the top 5 are covered by just 15 points now. Miller, Fenati, Rins, who came in 2nd that Grand Prix, Vasquez and Marquez. Those 5 are now covered by 15 points. So that Moto3 Championship is going all the way to the wire by the looks of it. It's very, very competitive right now. But the top class race, oh my word. The rain, it started spitting with rain literally with about 5 minutes till the planned race start. So to the FIM's credit, they were quick on this one. What they did was they managed to, they delayed the start of the race. They let the whole field have 2 sighting laps extra. At the last minute, Rossi changed bikes, Pole changed bikes to the wet setup and started from the pit lane. Maverick Vinales got off to a good start, but Dovi got off to a better one, and Dovi was in control of the race. But they also wrecked the wet tyres, so basically, after wrecking them, they had to go onto the dry, so they had the pit stop halfway through, about 7 laps in or so. On the way out, Marquez actually made a rare mistake. He went wide in a corner, hit the gravel, but was able to keep going. Lost about 4 seconds. But Dovi just pretty much ran out of puff. As I nearly passed Cornvale again there. But yeah, I said that, yeah, Marquez just came through again. Marquez is just so good. Like, not even rain phases him anymore. I mean, he has enormous cojones sometimes. Like, the example, the pass he moved on Hiroshi Ayama, when Ayama stayed out late, round the outside of him, just ridiculous. You don't see anyone else in the field pull off what he's doing. It's unreal. And that was also his most dominant win of the season on pure time. Won that race by 6.3 seconds in the end from Dovi. Alicia Spagaro had a tremendous fight with Danny Pedrosa throughout the entire Grand Prix, but the tyres he was on were wrecked at the end, lost out all that time, and eventually finished in 4th, about 19 seconds back. But Alicia matched his career best in 4th. He got the 4th in Qatar as well earlier in the season. Further back down, Rossi, my God, started from the pit lane. Phenomenal ride from Valentino to come in 5th. That was the ride of a true champion. You keep forgetting this man's 35 years old. Oh, Miller and Fenati fighting at the last corner. I think Fenati's going to just take the win. He does over Miller, but we get our first podium. All right. Take that, Cornvale. That's revenge.
The podium finishers are making their way into
Fenati by 33 thousandths in the end. Wow. That's ridiculous. So yeah, Fenati leads the championship by 5 points over Miller. Cornvale 3rd, 12 points ahead of Vinales in 4th. And now I'm up to 5th now, but joint 5th with Bagnia with 52 points each, which is great. Making some real headway. Just need a more powerful bike and I'll be challenging for wins, I'm sure of it. This Mahindra is not bad, but it just needs more power. It really does.
His 3rd place today is a great result.
Yeah, first podium celebration.
In the next races.
But yeah, I said Rossi in 5th was a brilliant performance. I mean, he really is showing why he's the second best guy in the paddock right now, and you know, he's doing a phenomenal job. I continue to be blown away by what Rossi is doing at his age. No one in MotoGP was this good at 35 since Agostini. I'm sure of it. Further back, Iannone had a career best. He finished in 6th. And further back, Lorenzo finished in 13th place. I think after the race, he was interviewed and he pretty much said that he got the yips from last year, because last year at Assen he had that awful crash in practice, and you know, pretty much damaged his shoulder, and that pretty much stopped any chance of winning the championship in the end. It was a real shame because he kind of missed out as a result, really, when he could have really, you know, challenged for the title, maybe even won it if it wasn't for those injuries which held him back earlier on. Down the line, it ended up being much more important in the end, but yeah, Lorenzo in 13th, he just could not get anything out of that Yamaha. I mean, has his confidence completely gone? I don't know, as we head to Mugello for round 6. Yeah, I mean, it's really concerning. I mean, Lorenzo seems to have completely gone off the boil. I looked at the standings. He's now 119 points behind Marquez's perfect 200, which is just astonishing. How can a world champion, a double world champion, be 120 points off Marquez? Shocking. From a competitive standpoint, the league is pretty much over, if I'm honest. Barring an injury, Marquez has this down. I mean, I think he's now got a 70-point lead or a 72-point lead or something like that. And it's just what's sealed it for me is that he's just better than everybody else. It's as simple as that. It seems like he's always got 2 temps in his locker if he needs it. And he destroyed the field, besides Rossi. I would have loved to have seen if Rossi had taken his 12th place grid slot, what he'd been able to have done. Would he have been able to challenge? Because Rossi was very fast today again, and Assen's one of his stronger tracks. So if it worked out for him, it could have been pretty sweet in the end, but it just wasn't to be. But you know, Rossi again, like I said, is just doing a great job, and he should be really proud of himself right now. But it's just the only reason he's getting beaten is he's getting beaten by a freak. It's as simple as that, you know. Right, suspension. We'll get the upgrade this time around. Also, I've got to give a shout out as well to a guy that was surprisingly great, and that was Brock Parks. Brock Parks, who has had a terrible time on that bike so far. Brock Parks finished in 11th place. I think that's the highest finish ever for Paul Bird Motorsport. Ahead of Jorge, and ahead of Scott Redding, who's on a better bike than he is. It's a brilliant ride from Brock Parks. He had the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at one point, and he was actually passing people. It's like Brock Parks came alive in the wet. Something I never thought I would say or believe. But yeah, we had a brilliant start here to 11th place already. But overall, just a crazy race weekend. If you haven't seen the reruns yet, if you've missed anything, go see it. I mean, it's not really. I mean, I know I kind of spoilt the top class one a little bit, but if you're watching this video, you're probably a fan of MotoGP and you've probably already seen it anyway. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing on the internet? But yeah, like I said, overall, just a crazy weekend. Aston just had this knack of throwing up some really weird circumstances sometimes, and this time it was changeable conditions, something we don't get in MotoGP very often. We're actually very lucky that the calendar, for the most part, 90% of the time the races are in the dry. I mean, this race was always going to throw up a couple of wild cards and surprises, because at the end of the day, overall, you know, we haven't had we haven't had a lot of run time. We've had no run time at all. And on top of that, guys like Scott Redding were being interviewed saying that we have not ran a single lap of this bike in the wet yet, which is just bound to cause some interesting results. So I'm down in 9th place now. Mugello's one of those tracks where I might struggle a little bit. because there's so many long straights on here, and again, this bike is just lacking in power, so... Okay, oh, Oliveira again. I'm going to try and toe off him here a little bit. Yes, Mahindra. Yes, Mahindra, that's it. Use that draft. These bikes are surprisingly fast in a straight line for a 250cc. That was still nearly 150 miles an hour I hit down there. Not bad for a bike which is its engine capacity is actually smaller than a tin of Coke. But yeah, it's an overall just a great weekend, and I'm starting to wonder now, like, we're gonna start to have this conversation of, can Marquez clean up from here? Can he go all the way and win every single Grand Prix? I'm starting to think it's possible. I was like, no way, he's bound to make a slip up somewhere. And every time he slipped up, he's had so much skill, he's gotten away with it. That's the level of genius this man has right now. And you know what's also great about Marc Marquez is that the fans generally like him. He's not like Sebastian Vettel, where he was dominant for a long time and then people got tired of him winning all the time. Marquez seems to be genuinely liked by a lot of people, and I don't think there's a lot of people that actually actively dislike him. I think Marquez is a very likable human being in general. You know, always smiling. He's got this very charming persona. You know, always smiling. I said, he's got this boyish charm about him, and he does ridiculous things on a bike which people just tend to appreciate. And like I said, he's just generally well received. I don't think there's any reason you can actively dislike him besides the fact he wins, and that isn't really a valid reason, to be honest, to dislike somebody. Oh, I don't like him. He's too good. You just sound silly, you know what I mean? Am I close enough here to slipstream? I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like it. I'm trying to catch up here, but I'm not having much success. It's all in the corners, it's all in the corners. I mean, 8th isn't too bad, but 5th would be pretty nice, given this is one of the tracks I'm going to be weaker around. The thing is, I actually do love Mugello, the racetrack. Mugello is a brilliant track for MotoGP. It's one of my favourites, actually. I think it is my favourite one on the calendar. And you know what? Formula 1 should consider coming back here. I remember when Formula 1 did a couple of tests around here, and Mark Webber actively came out and said, I'd rather do 1,000 laps of Mugello than 10 laps of Abu Dhabi. Which says a lot about Herman Tilke's track design. But we passed Antonelli and into 7th. Like, can we get up there with the other Sky VR46 bike? No, Antonelli's actually got us back. He's very fast around that corner. But the brakes on this thing are much improved. That's excellent. Right, let's see if we can... I think we're a bit too far back maybe for that top 5 slot, but hopefully if they keep bumping into each other, they might be able to free up some room. Ooh, they're going side by side in the dash again. That's not going to work. Okay, right. We've got a good run. I'll brake as late as I dare here. Let's see if I can go full Sandro Cortese here and try and get a run out of the corner. I don't think I'm close enough, mind you. Yeah, Miller beats Fanati, Isaac Vinales third, Colin fell 4th, and I end up coming in 5th, which isn't too bad, I suppose, but, well, not 5th, sorry, 7th, I should say, which is okay. Like we said, like we all know, the Mahindra lacks in power, so on a track which is very wide open, that's not bad at all, really. Again, Miller beat Fenati by the exact same margin that Fenati beat him at Le Mans. 0.033. So Miller and Fenati tied on 135. I'm now down to 6th place because Benaglia got 2 points on me there, but I'm still in 6th place with 71, which is good. We had a really good start, but then we just weren't able to cash in on it, really. It was a bit annoying. Whether or not Freddie Spencer. Fast Freddie Spencer, well, until Marquez came along, the youngest world champion in MotoGP history. He had all the young guy records until Marquez came along, pretty much. Poor guy. But Freddie Spencer's got so much respect for him, it's ridiculous.
Teams ready to offer you a contract.
Hello.
Scroll through them to find all the information you'll need to make your decision. Obviously, if you prefer to keep developing your current bike, you're free to stay with the team you're in now.
Okay. Big deal here, folks. Big friggin' deal. Do I go to the IO Red Bull team? Mahindra's top-level team with Miguel Oliveira and Arthur Cesis. I can take an immediate promotion to Moto 2 and join Caterham. Or do I go to the KTM Calvo team with Jacob Kornfeil, Isaac Vinales, or Eric Grando? Oh, this is tough. Team performance, is that a little bit higher? You know what, we're going to Calvo. We are going to Calvo. We're going to finish up this season with a KTM. You know, you've got to get on a KTM. KTM needs, you know, you've got to do well with KTM, and you know, they're the teams you've got to do it with. Let's see, Marquez dominates in Mugello again. Perfect race, Pedrosa second, Lorenzo third. Wow. Says here as well, Rabat wins in Moto 2. Rabat has won 6 for 6 in Moto 2. Lord of mercy. At least the team's got the right idea of Maverick Vinales in 3rd place, because I think Vinales is a stud. Okay. Next on the calendar, we got a test, actually. This is a new feature in MotoGP's career mode this year. You get to test, so you can up at your bike's development, which is great. Already seen the Italia graphics. I don't know why would you play the same graphic again when you've already at the same round? It's pointless. But yeah, I've joined the KTM team, which is great. I think we're also going to show off a bit of a glitch here in the game as well.
Test sessions are perfect for developing components because they allow you to obtain numerous data packs in a single session. To ensure the validity of the packs, the bike has to be performing under stress, so you will be asked to complete a lap within a time limit. Manage this, and the test will yield useful data.
So yeah, that was basically them explaining that a test is basically a glorified time trial. But if you do well enough, you get up to 3 data packs, which is great to help develop the bike. Now, where am I going to focus this on? Well, let's go straight for the engine, because we can bypass the other stuff and pretty much guarantee ourselves an upgrade here if we get the 3 data packs. So let's go with that. Also got to change my wardrobe around because green in this team probably isn't going to work as well. But who cares? Let's go. I think it was a 2:08.1 was the time to beat. Actually, to be fair, the green doesn't look too bad on here as it goes. Not bad. Let's see if this KTM is any better. It's not the factory KTM team, because I know the Red Bull's got that one locked down, but this is the same team that Kornfeil's on, and he's much faster than me in terms of pure speed. And it feels like this bike is much faster already. Into 6th now, coming up towards 230, 240 maybe kilometers an hour. Oh, it's definitely a fair sight quicker. Nearly 155 miles an hour actually coming towards Mugello. So you can already physically see that the bike is faster in a straight line. As I know I can nail the corners. I might throw it out there to you guys. What colour should my number and racing levers be? I'll leave the choice to you. Just don't say pink. Okay, I'm joking. To be fair, I actually did like what Alicia Spagaro was doing when he was riding with Aspar and now with NGM. How he had he always had the pink going on with his team, which was always really cool. But yeah, this is the test feature, and a nice little touch actually, because MotoGP does actually test quite a lot over the course of the season. So yeah, that's all pretty sweet. And again, like I said before as well, I'm still really I haven't got a lot of practice time under my belt here. So just any time I can get right now is a good thing. I'm still learning, but this game actually plays really well on the PS4 controller. Whoops. Hopefully they didn't allow a minor corner cut there. I must admit, the PS4 controls are really good in the sense of it gives you much better throttle response, which is something I really like about the controller. It's really nice to feather the throttle for corners and things like that. But yeah, got it. I think we beat it. Yep, we did. 206.7. So yeah, we get all 3 data packs. Excellent. So that'll go straight towards the engine, which will take us to round 8, Catalunya. I can't believe we're already at round 8. It's like the whole season so far has been a blur. So there we go. There's the Calvo setup. So like I said, you saw my levers here. What colour would you think would suit me best? Comment below, and in a future episode, I'll try and make sure I can find out for you. So, but until then, I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.